guys, Ryan here, back again doing another movie review, and today we'll be reviewing Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, Zack Snyder's Justice League is directed by Zack Snyder and features Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Ray Fisher, Kieran Hines. Oh, this has a very big cast, so if you guys want to skip like 20 seconds or something. Ezra Miller, Jason Momoa, Henry Cavill, Joe Morton, Jeremy Irons, Amy Adams, Ryan Zhang, Amber Heard, J.K. Simmons, Willem Dafoe, Diane Lane, Harry Lennox, Connie Nielsen, Peter Guinness, Harry Porter, and Mark McClure. So the plot of Zack Snyder's Justice League is it's the exact same plot as the original cut of Justice League. We follow with the events after Batman vs Superman, where Superman dies. The mother boxes awake, and Steppenwolf comes to Earth to try to take the mother boxes to try to because there's three mother boxes. He has to get three mother boxes. He has to form them together, and once they form together, the whole world, Earth will destroy and become his. Like they'll become his and they'll destroy. Yeah, and so the Batman forms this team, is trying to form this team of the Justice League to try to stop Steppenwolf from doing that. Yeah, so it's the exact same plot as in the original Justice League. So yeah. And before I tell you guys my thoughts on this movie, I just want to tell you guys that the story of the whole Justice League thing. So the whole Justice League thing, it reminds me a lot of the story from Superman 2. In Superman 2, Richard Donner was working on it. They didn't really like the way things were going, and so they kicked him out of the project, and so they brought in Richard Lester to finish the movie. And so that reminds me a lot like Justice League, because in Justice League, Zack Snyder was working on a lot of it already, but they didn't really like the way things were going, so then they took him off and brought Joss Whedon to come in. And so Joss Whedon made the original Justice League that came out in 2017. So, but the difference between Superman 2 and Justice League is that with Superman 2, everyone loves Superman 2, actually. Like, everyone loves the theatrical cut of Superman 2. And the Richard Donner cut of that movie doesn't really make much of a difference. Like, Richard Donner cut's Superman 2 is better, but it's only a little better than the original one. So yeah, but the thing with Justice League, it has a major difference to it actually, because with the original release of Justice League, everyone didn't like that movie. Actually, a lot of people thought it was very mediocre and they didn't like it. Like those were a lot of people's feelings on it. I myself thought the movie was very mediocre actually, but now. The reason why Zack Snyder left the project, it was like I was wrong actually. Like, it wasn't because they didn't like the way things were going. They loved the way things were going, but Zack Snyder's daughter Autumn, she committed suicide, and she was only like 14 years old. And so from there, that made him really really sad and made him go into depression and made him quit. Like he quitted the project himself and gave it to Joss Whedon. So that's what happened. And so for 4 years he's been very sad about that. And so since the fans kept telling him like, dude, we didn't like the original cut. Why didn't you just stay? Please release your version of the film. Please release the Snyder cut. Like a lot of fans like kept telling him release the Snyder cut and this and that. And so because of that, that's what made him rise up and to make his own version of the movie. And so 4 years later, he decides to make his full complete version of the movie that is 4 hours long and rated R. So he literally put in everything that was cut out and into this movie. And there's only like a little bit of the original cut in this movie. It's mostly just his vision, and that's what this movie is. Yeah. And yeah, so that's what the Zack Snyder Justice League is all about. Yeah, and now, let me tell you guys. Do I like this cut of Justice League? Do I like the Zack Snyder's version of Justice League? Yes, I love Zack Snyder's version of Justice League. Okay, before I say my thoughts, I just want to tell you guys. You guys may be wondering why I look so Superman-ish. Just so you guys know, I didn't have any other clothing from any other Justice League members besides Superman. And also Superman, it's either Superman or Flash who was my favorite Justice League member in this movie. Okay, now, yeah, that's why I'm wearing Superman. So, I'm just gonna tell you guys, I love this version of Justice League actually. Like, this is what should have been released in theaters. Like, not the fucking Whedon cut, which I don't really like much. I mean, I thought it was eh. I didn't hate it, nor did I love it. It was eh. That review's still up on my YouTube channel. I reviewed that movie last year. I'll put the link down to that review if you guys want to see it. But with this movie is a huge step up from Joss Whedon's Justice League. This is the real deal right here. Actually, like this is the real deal. This is awesome. Actually, like I love this movie so much from start to finish. It was fucking awesome. I love every minute of this movie. Actually, like to even compare this to the original Justice League is fucking dumb. Because like this movie is like so much more awesome than the original one. Let me try and think of the word. It's more improving than the new Justice League. Like it improves so much more than the original Justice League did. And what I love about this is when they bring in the original scenes from the other Justice League movie, they make it longer and more extended and more action packed. And I really love that a lot about it too. And this movie was 4 hours long. 4 hours. It is easily the most longest movie I've ever seen. Actually, like definitely the most longest movie. I've never seen any movies that are like that was 4 hours long. The longest I've ever seen was 3 hours and 20 minutes. I mean, I did see a 4 hour movie in my social studies class in middle school, the Gettysburg, but that doesn't really count because we watched it from like pieces of it, like throughout the week, 2 weeks actually, yeah. But I watched all this in just one sitting. Actually, like I watched it yesterday, like all in one sitting. Like right when I got home from school, I watched it, and like I think I finished it at 8 o'clock because like there was some times where I was taking like bathroom breaks or like eating breaks or something like that. Yeah, and so shit. I hate when that happens. My phone fell out of my pocket. I hate when that happens. That happens a lot, actually. What was I just? Oh yeah. So yeah, this movie's 4 hours, but to me, it doesn't really feel like it. Actually, it didn't really feel like 4 hours. Actually, like it didn't even feel like it. Like it honestly felt like 2.5 hours. I would say, not 4 hours. So I would say the 4 hours did go by pretty fast. Actually, so if you guys are worried about the time, don't be that worried about it because it goes by really fast. Actually. And yeah, and this movie is very action packed too. Like if you guys are in this movie wanting action, wanting like 4 hours of action, I assure you that's what you're gonna get actually. And you're never gonna be bored when watching this movie actually. So if you guys haven't seen this movie already, I highly suggest you all go check this movie out, please. Oh, and just so you guys know, in this portion of the review, the beginning of the review, it will be totally spoiler free. But later on, I'm gonna start getting into some spoilers. I'll let you guys know when I'll start getting into spoilers. So yeah, but for now, you're safe. So yeah, this movie was really awesome. Is there anything else I should say? Let me think. And there was a lot more character background in this movie too, like a lot more character development in this movie. Cause like the original Justice League had absolutely zero character development with the Justice League, and you don't really care about the Justice League much, nor do you care about the villain much or the story about it much. With this, you actually care for the characters a lot actually, and you get so much character development actually, and you get even you care about the villain a lot this time around actually, because with Steppenwolf in the original cut, he was a fucking bad villain. Like I did not give a shit for him at all. All he was just Darkseid's mentor, and that was it. And I didn't really like that much. Like literally, all he wanted was just the boxes, and he was such a fucking weak villain in that movie. Like literally all he wanted was just the boxes. Like he just kept talking to people like, where are the boxes? Like he just kept picking up someone, throwing them. Where are the boxes? Where are the boxes? That's literally all he would mostly do in the movie actually. And he was very annoying in that movie, and he wasn't even menacing at all. But with this movie, wow, it was a very, very big change with what they did with Steppenwolf. In this, you actually care for his plan, you care for his motivation. Like, he actually has a motivation in this movie, actually, because, like, he is Darkseid's mentor, but he wants to, like, take the throne or something like that. He wants to be Darkseid's best person, because Steppenwolf owes Darkseid like 50,000 worlds, actually 50,000 worlds to destroy, and he'll take his throne or something like that. So yeah, and that's his motivation throughout the whole movie, and I really love that motivation so much. It's a very awesome motivation, and that's fucking impossible actually. Like 50,000 worlds, that's fucking impossible. That take forever actually. And I think in the movie they said he only had like 5 worlds actually. Yeah, and that was funny. Uh, what else? What else? I think more, a lot more. I think more than 5 worlds actually. Like I forgot what it was, but I think it was somewhere around that low scale. Let me think. What else with Steppenwolf was there? Let me think. Oh yeah, and Steppenwolf, he's very, very menacing in this movie. Actually, like he's very, very like he doesn't give a shit. Actually, like he'll literally destroy everything and everyone to get the mother boxes, and he literally will do anything to get the mother boxes, and that's what makes you scared of him. Actually, like from when he pops into Themyscira, when he first shows up in Themyscira, you're right away scared of him. Actually, his look is fucking awesome. Like literally, like his all new look is so much more compelling than in the old version, where in the old version he was just a tall dude, a tall white dude with like a blue outfit. That was it. But in this, he's actually a big metallic dude with a bunch of spikes around him, and he was so fucking tall. Like he was all silver, so much armor, and yeah, he literally looks so awesome. Like there was literally so much happening in his appearance. Yeah, and so once he appears from Themyscira, you're already scared of him with the line he gives. Like you guys. He says something like, "You guys should show so much fear," and then like the Amazons are like Amazons. Show them your fear, and then they all attack him. And that scene was fucking awesome, where he's trying to take them. That scene was like the perfect introduction for Steppenwolf. Like the Themyscira scene was so much more awesome than in the original cut. In the original cut, it was cool, but this time it's fucking awesome. And it's what's the word I should say? It is spectacular. Yeah, it is just spectacular. It is so awesome. Like literally, like that scene was really rated R too. Like it went down with its R rating actually, and this movie was rated R too. And I definitely think that R rating was pretty necessary actually, because this movie is pretty bloody actually, and very like the action here is super rated R actually, because like Steppenwolf in this scene, like what he was doing is he kept knocking down like he instead like there were Amazons like riding the horses, and he wasn't taking down the Amazons out of the horses. Like he was taking the horses down too. Like he was pulling the horses and like taking them down with the Amazons, and that scene was fucking awesome. And like there was even a scene where like they all like had like they were all shooting arrows at him with like a bunch of bow and arrows with like ties on them. And like strings, and so they were all attacking him, and then like he literally takes the strings that are all on him and then pushes the Amazons with the horses, and like they literally go flying, and then he with his axe, like he literally goes down with his axe in the whole movie actually, like with his axe. Oh shit, I messed up my hat. Okay, with the axe he like it literally is very bloody when he chops people up with the axe. Like he goes slicing and dicing with his axe, and it's very, very bloody when he does it. Like when he chops off the Themyscirans, he like literally like you can even see the blood that comes out of them. Like I think one of them even gets decapitated actually. Like that whole scene's just so awesome. And like I love in the scene when the place that the mother box was being kept at, like that place falls, and you think that Steppenwolf and all the parademons are underwater, but then they rise up from the water, and then that's when Steppenwolf attacks and like takes down all the horses and all of that. Yeah, so that scene was fucking awesome, and you really, really care for the Amazons to take the mother box. It's like you're really like on the edge of your seat. You're like, no, you're really talking to the screen. Like you're like, don't let him get the mother box. Don't let him get the mother box. Don't let him get the mother box. Yeah, that's literally like what you're thinking in your mind as you're watching that scene, and that's what's really cool about it, is you actually care for Steppenwolf to not take the mother boxes. Yeah. That's what's really cool. And is there anything else I should say? What else? Let me think. So yeah, that whole scene was awesome, and yeah, just that whole scene, 10 out of 10. Yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? So yeah, Steppenwolf, he was a lot more menacing. I love all the scenes where he puts in the mother boxes, and you actually get a lot more background to the mother boxes actually, because like the mother boxes in this movie, you don't really give a shit for them in the original cut, but here you actually get the mother boxes motivation and why they're there and why Steppenwolf wants them really bad, because like they don't destroy life. Like they don't destroy life. They create life. Like they create life. That's what they do. Like they can bring something to life. They can destroy something. Like they literally, that's what they do, is create life. and that's what Steppenwolf wants from them, and that's the purpose of them. And I thought that was a very awesome purpose for them. They remind me a lot. They're I think they're as compelling as the Infinity Stones actually. Like, and that was a really awesome purpose for them. Um, Let me think. Is there any other big difference I should say? Let me think. Okay. I shouldn't talk about Darkseid yet because I'll talk about Darkseid once I get to the spoilery section. But there's another villain that this movie has too. He's not really a villain, but he's also Darkseid's like best person or something like that. His name's Desaad. Desaad. He doesn't really have much to do. He just gives exposition and like to Steppenwolf, and like, he tells him what to do, and like he's telling Steppenwolf like, this is good for like you're doing awesome, like just do this and all this stuff, and he was good for those scenes. Let me think. Is there any other big difference I should say without spoiling anything? Oh yeah, the Justice League with like I said before, you get a lot of character background to them actually. Like you actually care for the Justice League now. I mean, in the original cut, you cared for them only a little bit. You cared for them a little bit, but with this one, you care for them a lot actually. But there is just one Justice League member that I thought it wasn't that good in this movie actually. That I thought he was a lot better in the original cut actually, which is pretty crazy for me to say actually, that there's one thing that I liked better in the original cut than in this cut. And there's only just one thing I like with the original cut better than this one. And that is a character in the Justice League that was so much better in the original cut, and he wasn't even that good in this movie. I mean, he was cool, but he didn't really have much to do, and you didn't really like care for him much. And I won't say who that is until I get to the spoilery side, but that's all I'm saying, okay? But with a lot of other people, you care for them actually. Like, with Batman, you care a lot about him more this time around. Cause with the original cut, Batman, he wasn't really that compelling. Like, Ben Affleck in that movie, he just seemed like he didn't even want to be in that movie. Like, he wasn't really acting that good. He was very childish. Like, he wasn't even Batman, I would say. Like, he was more a Fat Man, I would say. He was what else is there? He was very silly too. Like he wasn't serious Batman. Like he was silly Batman. Like he was a silly Batman. He wasn't a cool one. No, I can't even compare him to George Clooney actually, because that was fucking bad in the original Justice League. He was just a bit of a silly Batman in that movie. He just seemed like he didn't want to be there. But with this movie, he's awesome, actually. Like, he's fucking awesome. Like, I love him in this movie. He's a very, very serious Batman. You care for him. Like, the reason why he's setting up this team is for Superman, because he made a promise to Superman in his grave. And he wants to bring a team that's as strong as Superman, to live up as Superman. Yeah, and he wants to do it. He's not doing it for himself. He's doing it he's doing it for himself too, but he's also doing it for Face too, for this whole team and to save the world. He's bringing this whole team in together for Face, and that's what was really cool about him. Like, there's even a scene where Alfred's like, you know, you don't really have to do this, Master Bruce. Like, you can't just do this just because of something Luther says. And he's like, I know I can't, but it all regards to Face, and I made a promise with Superman. Yeah, so yeah, and I really like that a lot about him. And all the scenes with him in action were fucking badass. Yeah, and I don't think there's anything spoilery for me to say about Batman. Let me think. I think there is, but that's towards the end of the movie though. But yeah, just Batman. He was cool in this movie. Let me think if there's anything else I should say about Batman. Let me think. Let me think. I think that's it about Batman. Now let's talk about Wonder Woman. I really loved Wonder Woman in this movie, actually. And they gave Wonder Woman a new theme, actually. Like, they brought back the old theme, too, but they blended it in with the new theme, too, which was what I really liked about it, too. With the new theme, I thought it was so awesome. It was really, really badass. And I love the scene where Wonder Woman is attacking the terrorists, which was in the original cut, but they made it even more cooler in this cut now. And they put a lot more going on in that scene. And yeah, that scene was basically the same, but more was going on. And I really like when she takes one of the terrorists and like knocks them onto the wall, and then like you see blood come out when he falls. Yeah, that scene was cool. Let me think. Oh yeah, and in this movie, there's a bit of cussing in this movie too, because like this movie's rated R for violence and cussing. but there's only like 3 or 4 scenes of cussing in it actually, and one of those scenes was in this scene because like the terrorist was like aiming his gun to the people that he was trying to kill, like the people in like the like that he was like keeping guarded or prisoned. Yeah, he's putting a gun on them and he's like, shut your fucking mouths. Yeah, so that's the first scene of cussing, and then the second scene of cussing is where Cyborg, like Wonder Woman, talks to Cyborg about joining the team, and then he's like, fuck the world. And I thought that was really cool for Cyborg to cuss. And then the other scene of cussing is in the end, where Batman's like, make no mistake, I'll fucking kill you. I won't say what happens in that scene until I get to the spoiler section. So those are the only 3 scenes I would say that I caught of cussing. But I was expecting a lot more cussing though. Like I was expecting Aquaman to do some cussing. That would have been cool actually. Like Aquaman definitely fits in with the cussing role actually. So yeah, I just wish there was a bit more scenes of cussing to make that R rating more necessary. But it's whatever. So yeah, that scene where Wonder Woman gets introduced, yeah, it was cool, and I really loved what like how it shows what happens after she does the thing, because in the original cut, when she does this, I don't know what it's called, but when she does this, like it just cut it to another scene. Excuse me. But it continues on after that, and then it shows that the building explodes and she actually killed that terrorist. And then she just tells the whole group, like, is everyone okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And then she tells this little girl that's just still sitting down. She's like, are you okay? And then she's like, can I be like you when I grow up, or something like that? And I thought that scene was cute actually. That scene was pretty cute. And she was like, you can be whoever you want. Yeah, it was cute. Is there anything else about Wonder Woman? And Wonder Woman, she was exactly the same as she was in the original cut, actually, like exactly the same. And she still worked for what she was for that. And yeah, and she was fucking awesome in this movie. And I love that scene where what was that scene with the arrow, with like the fire arrow. I forgot what it was called, but like when she goes to the fire arrow, there's like a thing. There's like a thing to like go on under. There's a place to go underground, and then like she has a torch, and then she's looking around, and then she sees like a painting of Darkseid, and that scene was pretty cool actually. Anything else about Wonder Woman? I should say. Oh yeah, and in the end, she literally gives off the finale again, and yeah, and the end with the finale with her was fucking awesome. I'll get to that once I get to the spoiler section. So yeah, Wonder Woman, she was awesome. Now let's get on to Cyborg. What I really love about this movie is they actually give Cyborg a lot of character development, actually, because in the original cut, we got no character development of Cyborg, actually. He was just there to give exposition and to give the tech and to like do technology shit. But with this movie, he actually has a lot of motivation, actually. Like, you actually care for Cyborg a lot. Like, you see how he became Cyborg, because like he after a football game, like him and his mom were driving, and then they got in a car accident, and then like the mom dies, but like the dad, Silas Stone, he couldn't handle to have his son die too, and so he brought him to his lab, and so he made him one with the mother box, and the mother box brought him back to life, but made him like a machine, and yeah, and that was cool. Let me think. And I thought that scene was very emotional too, because like Cyborg was really sad that his dad would never come to his games, because he was always in the lab and he was always busy all the time, and he couldn't never come to the games. And so he was really sad about that. When they were driving, he was even crying too, which I actually felt bad for Cyborg in that scene actually. And yeah, that scene was very emotional, and also we learn we even see how Cyborg like controls his powers too, because like in his mind, like he has like his own little world in his mind where he knows where he's trying to like control his powers, and like he can do anything in his mind or something like that. And in his mind, like I think it's it's like kind of his home in a way. Like his mind is kind of his home in a way, and it's basically what helps him out more. And yeah, and that was really cool. And like in his mind, like he can do whatever he wants in his mind, and that was really cool. Like you see a lot of his mind, and then there's even a scene where he's like learning how to fly too, where he's trying to learn how to fly, and that scene was awesome actually. And like where like he keeps messing up, and he keeps falling too, which yeah, that scene was really cool. and that gave him a lot of emotion with him, with the mind and him trying to learn how to fly. And yeah, and when he does learn how to fly, and I thought that scene was really awesome. Is there anything else about Cyborg I should say? And you actually care for him actually, and you care that he wants to do this plan and all that. Like he joins them just and like also because like and I really like that scene with Wonder Woman and Cyborg where Wonder Woman tells him like I lost someone too a long time ago and it took me a while to get over it, but what I had to do was try to go out in the world and try to get over it, like try to make a new life. And so that's what she was telling Cyborg to do, and then that's what makes Cyborg join the team and to try to save the world. And I thought that was a really cool scene. Let me think. Is there anything else about Cyborg I should say? Let me think. Oh yeah, and all the scenes with him in action are even more cooler this time around. Let me think. Anything else about Cyborg? Oh yeah, and you care about he has a very strong relationship with his father in this movie actually, and you really care for that relationship because like, he like his father like finally loves him now, but like now that he's just a machine now, like now that he's like but now that like he's not really living, like he loves him because of that, and then like Cyborg's even like you couldn't like care for me when I was alive. So yeah, and yeah, his relationship with his father was really strong, and I really like how he cared for his father so much. Like he thanks his father for bringing him back to life, and yeah, just all his relationship with his father was really cool. Let me think. I think that's it about Cyborg. Now let's talk about Flash. I really loved Flash in this movie actually. Like Flash, he's even more cooler in this movie actually. Like I love how they keep in most of his comic relief in from the original cut to this cut actually. And yeah, and I really love how they kept the exact same scene where he met Bruce Wayne. Like they still kept that exact same thing. And I really like that whole scene. And I love his introduction so much. Wait, should I talk about his introduction right now? No, I'll talk about I'll be saying spoilers if I say his introduction. So I'll talk about his introduction once I get to the spoiler side. But with Flash in this movie, he was a lot cooler actually, and he was even more funnier in this time around too. Yeah, and yeah, Flash, he was just awesome. I loved all the scenes with him. But most of the scenes with him involve spoilers, actually. So I'll talk about him once I get to the spoilery side. But he was just so fucking awesome. I really loved in the like what he does in the end. Like he does something so like he does the most greatest decision you can ever think of in the end, and that was so awesome with him. And yeah, I'll talk about that once I get to the spoilery section. Yeah, so he was just even more cool in this movie than he was in the original one. So yeah, he was kind of the same, but a bit different, yeah. Now let's get on to Aquaman. Aquaman, he was cool, but I'll wait for the spoiler section. Superman, I loved him so much. He was awesome. What I love about Superman, what I hated about Superman in the original cut was his face. Like, in the original cut, his face looked so fucking fake. It looked so fake. It looked so bad. Like, it didn't even look like a human's face. Like, it just looked so disgusting. What they did with his face in the original cut was when Henry Cavill would come back for the reshoots for Whedon's version, like he had a mustache on him and he refused to shave it off because like around that time he was working on the Mission Impossible movie, the one that came out in 2018. So like he had to keep his mustache. And so, in order for them to take it out, they had to CGI his face. And the CGI looks so fucking bad and so fucking noticeable in that movie. And right with the opening scene of that movie, his face looks, like you can't even look at his face in that original cut at all. Like, it's just so fucking disgusting. But with this movie, they changed that. Like, they totally changed that. And they used the original scenes of him shooting the movie and with his real face this time around. His real face. Like, you see his real face. No CGI bullshit. None of that. Like, it's his real face this time. Like, it doesn't look bad at all. His face does not look bad. It's his real face. And that's what's really, really cool about it. Is, like, it's just his real face. It's no CGI shit. that's what I love about him. And now he's even more compelling now. Like, now you can look at him. Now you can care about Superman now. So yeah, and that's what I really loved about him. And I really loved when he comes back to life. Like, this was in the original cut, but when he comes back to life, he can't remember who he is, and so like he's just fighting the Justice League. And like, oh wait, with this scene, it gets more extended too, because like the army comes to and tries to shoot him, but like he's laser beaming them, and he even tries to laser beam Batman, but he's blocking it with his arm. So yeah, that scene was even more cool this time around, and I really love when he laser beams the police car, and when he like I think he laser beams the tank actually, and then like it explodes and it goes flying, and it was about to hit the cop played by Mark McClure, but then Cyborg saves him, and yeah, and that scene was awesome. Yeah, it was even more awesome this time around. And then I really love the when Lois comes, which was in the original cut too. And then they just fly away together, and like Lois is like very happy to see him. And then once he's like chilling with Lois, like he's thinking like what was I thinking? Oh yeah, he was thinking like they must have brought me back for a reason. Like, I'm not just brought back for no reason. Like, they must have brought me back for a reason. And I really love that how that whole message was back again for Man of Steel, that you are here for a reason. Like, I love the whole message with Superman in Man of Steel and in the original Superman 2, that you are here for a reason. And I love how they bring back that message. And I thought that was just so beautiful how they brought it back, where they tell him like, where he's thinking like, they must have brought me back for a reason. I have to figure out what that reason is. And so he flies away and he goes back to the Kryptonian ship, and like he's just thinking like he's thinking like what he's thinking about all the stuff that both his fathers said, like both his fathers, Jor-El and Jonathan Kent, about what they're saying, like, you're here for a reason, and where Jonathan's like, you're here for a reason, even if it takes you the rest of your life to figure it out. You have to know that reason. And then Jor-El's like, you're here to save the world. You're here to be their idol. You're here to protect them. And yeah, and I really liked that whole scene. It was just so beautiful. So yeah, that whole scene was just so beautiful. I love that scene so much. Like, it actually got me very emotional, actually. It almost made me cry, actually. And then from there, he gets his black suit, and then he flies off, and then he goes to Alfred and tells him, like, what are they doing? Where are they? And then he tells them about the thing, and then that's when he goes to try to help them. So yeah, and then the scene where he fights Steppenwolf is so much awesome. Like, I love that scene so much. Like, I actually cried in that scene, actually, where he fights Steppenwolf, and then the Superman theme is playing, like, you know, the flight theme from Man of Steel, it's playing when he's fighting Steppenwolf. That scene was fucking awesome. Like, literally, like, he punches Steppenwolf like there's no other. He laser beams him, so much, and like this was in the original cut too. He frost breathes his axe, and yeah, and that scene was just so much awesome in this scene, in this version. And yeah, and that scene like was super, like, it was amazing. Like, it was literally like that's Superman right there. That's Superman. And yeah, that was just awesome. And I would definitely say Superman was my favorite in this movie, actually. Like, it's no doubt he was my favorite, actually. That's why I'm wearing his clothing right now. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say about Superman? I think that's it about Superman. So yeah, Superman, he was just so emotional, and he was even more cooler in this cut. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? Let me try to say something else before I get to the spoilery section. So yeah, I thought the CG, one flaw I have with this movie, I have a bit of flaws with this movie, just 6 total nitpicks here and there, just 6 nitpicks here and there. One being, the CGI is a bit noticeable at times. Like, at times the CGI does look kind of fake. I mean, only a little bit fake. Like, it's not bad when the CGI looks noticeable. It just looks pretty noticeable at times. So yeah, that's just one nitpick I have with it. What was the second one? Let me think. The second nitpick. Okay, I'll get to more of the nitpicks when I talk about the spoilery side. Let me think. So yeah, the performances, they were fucking awesome. Like, the performances were fucking awesome. Like, you actually believe in their performances, and with their performances, excuse me, with their performances, you actually believe the characters they're playing. You believe Ben Affleck's Batman. You believe Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. You believe Ray Fisher's Cyborg. You believe Ezra Miller's Flash. You believe in all of the performances actually, and that's what was amazing about it. Let me think. And then the soundtrack was even better this time around. The soundtrack was more awesome this time around. I love the soundtrack so much. I think the score was composed by Tom Kolkenberg or something like that. I don't know. I forgot his name, but I think that's his name. But his vision with the music was even more cooler, and I loved it so much. Like, it was even better this time around. And yeah, the music. 2 thumbs up for the music. Yeah, I loved it so much. Now let's get to the color coding and the background. The background I thought looked even more cooler actually, because like the background with this movie looks so cool actually, because with the original cut, it just the whole look of it looked very, very cheesy actually. Like with the end battle, it looks all red and it just looks super cheesy. It looks very childish, and yeah, just the background didn't look very well in the original cut. But with this, it actually looks awesome actually. Like the background looks really, really cool, and the background looks dark. It looks a bit dark, and like the end battle is actually in a blue setting now, and that's what makes it like more serious and more what is the word called, more compelling. And yeah, it's just more compelling with the background now, and I really like how they changed the background. Yeah, and it was necessary for them to change the background, and yeah, the background was awesome. Let me think. Oh yeah, and also this movie, it's mostly just filmed in like a square screen now. It's not filmed in a wide screen. It's filmed in a square screen, and I didn't have any problems with that. Like, I had no problems with that actually. It did not bug me once actually. I had 0 problems with that. But yeah. But I heard that they're gonna release this movie on Blu-ray on May 25th, 3 days after my birthday. So maybe if I get birthday money at that time, I'll probably like waste a bit of it on the Snyder cut. Yeah, I'm definitely picking this movie up on Blu-ray. Maybe when it comes out on Blu-ray, they might put it in widescreen. It's a big maybe, but if they keep it in square screen, that's still fine. But what would be cool too is if they release if like when the Blu-ray comes out, that there could be another disc too with like a noir version of it, kind of like with Logan, because with Logan they made a noir version of that movie where it was all black and white. So if they do that with this movie too, with the square screen, I think that would be cool too. Like that would fit in with the square screen too. Yeah, I think that'd be a pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Is there anything else I should say before I get onto the spoilers section? Yeah, all the comic relief in this movie worked too. This movie didn't have as much comic relief as in the original cut, and I don't have a problem with that. But when it would have comic relief, I thought it worked. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? So yeah, I thought Zack Snyder, he did a really good job with making this movie. He did a really good job with putting in all the scenes that was cut out and putting it in it. Yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought he cared for this movie actually. Like, I thought he cared for his vision. Yeah, and I thought he had a really good vision with this movie too. Let me think. So yes, special effects, at times a bit noticeable, but they were still really cool actually. Like, they were still awesome. All the scenes in action, all the action scenes looked really cool actually. Like, they were all handled awesome actually. Like, they were all done like extreme, like really good. Yeah. Yeah, they were done good. Let me think. Okay, now here's where we get to another flaw with this movie, is the pacing to this movie. The pacing to this movie, it's like, it's not bad pacing at all, nor is it awesome pacing. Like, the pacing, like, I felt like it could have been timed a bit better actually. Like, the scenes could have been timed a bit better, maybe like a little bit better. They could have been timed. But I can easily look past it actually. Like, I could easily look past the pacing, but it's just a nitpick I have with it. Let me think. I think that's it for the spoiler free section. So yeah, this is the end of the spoiler free section now.